Welcome to another how-to video. My name's Dave Davis, the CTO of DVS, and today I'm joined by the wonderful Bruno of Sensovic Technologies, all the way from France, I believe.
Yes, I came all the way from France because we're a French company.
Exactly. Some of you may be aware we did distribute and did quite well with this product in the past. They went away and redesigned a lot of the product range, is fair to say. So we're here to reintroduce the product range to you, our customer base, to see the real value and benefit of how audio detection really is providing real frontline value and the security detection needs that simply a camera can't provide on its own. So, Bruno, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Dave.
We are going to make a couple more videos more focused on product demonstration and product setup. So this is like a reintroduction really to introduce you guys so you're more aware that Sensovic is a go. 2.0, we're back on track. One of the main features that we talked about before we sort of decided to come down and make some content was this brand new sensor. So some of the older sensors were, I would say, I'm trying to say this in a nice way, maybe a little bit more complex to install,
yes,
a little bit more complex to program.
Exactly, it's the reason why we listen, to our customers, and we try to make them as simple as we could. Of course, they're still as smart as before, a lot smarter than I am. And we provide smart audio detection, as you said. And maybe I would like to emphasize. Sorry, excuse my French. On the fact that the audio detection is the primal sense of detection. First we hear in nature, second we turn our head to look at what's happening, and it's what's in every single detector. So we made it simple, basically just plug and play. Basically the outdoor one are still PoE, just plug them in, and there is a mini website inside, just to do the setup.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they are more evolved than the previous one, because they still detect any sound linked to a shockwave, like car accidents, gunshots, explosions, window breakages, vandalism, these kind of things. But as well, there is a specific alert in case of a gunshot. So we have a very specific priority alert. Our detectors can say for sure it has been a gunshot which has been fired. Okay, luckily in this part, on this side of the ocean, it's less often, but it's quite useful, and it's
absolutely
delivered with it, so absolutely no problem. Can be plugged either directly to a PTZ camera or through a VMS or through the hypervisor, whatever you have, we're compatible with some, and if we are not, we provide the API, and we really only use very standard protocols, so usually in less than 24 hours, we're compatible with the main VMSs, that you could have. In fact, when we sell to cities, we inherit sometimes very old systems, but we can be plugged in on very old systems as well, Interesting fact is that the all smart detection and analysis is done at the edge of the system. Inside the detector, we just give the analysis in less than 1 second, so the alert is triggered in real time, and we don't take any resource from the system, apart from the PoE for the outdoor or 12 volts, and just a way of evacuating the alert.
So they're very self-sufficient detectors, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. Once again, because we listen, we can't impact the networks. When we started, networks were very weak. And nowadays, with the smart analysis of images, in real time, there is a lot of calculation, required for the system. So we do our own thing at the edge of the system, and we just trigger the alert in 1 second, which can trigger other smart functions, only when they're required, so we're a way of saving a lot of resources from the system.
It's funny because obviously over the years we've seen camera technology try to develop this detection algorithm into their product natively, haven't they? Where, you know, it sort of becomes the camera is the detection, and some do it to some degree better than other cameras, and it doesn't really matter about what brand that may be. But having tested and used this product, and our customers that will remember it from previous, there really is nothing in the field like this product. We certainly haven't come across anything. It's a very specialist marketplace, requiring some very specialist, very clever people to design this sort of detection and AI in there. But it's a really good point to make, where those of you that are either requiring the audio detection analytics or thinking about entering that market space to your customers, I think you really do need to look at a solution like this that is made for this market space, and not an afterthought of another product that they've just bolted in.
2 points, 2 points of what you have said. As you said, CCTV cameras, they try, but they are limited by 2 main factors. First one is the quality of the microphones, which basically are low quality ones, and they don't give enough data to process an accurate audio detection. The second thing is that usually their solutions are not UK GDPR compliant, because the audio is processed at the same time as the video, so there is no way of separating the channels. So you can't make the audio disappear, so the personal data are going with the video, and you can't treat it differently, so it is not compliant to any GDPR as long as it's enforced.
Yes.
The other thing is that on your ears you don't have on your face, you don't have the ears at the same place than your eyes, and there is a reason for that. We don't hear as well where we can see, so basically any audio detection must be done at the right place, if we want to be efficient. So all of that, because we are one of the rare pioneers, in audio detection, we've made all the mistakes people can do when they try, so it's what we want to save.
Which is good, because you've ironed those out now.
Exactly.
And people get the best product that they can absolutely get.
We explored a lot of dead ends, during the years, and we came out with this very simple to use and efficient device, which can bring a total new value, layer of value and layer of intelligence to any system, even the oldest one, because once again, in the non-directional detections, which are these simple small boxes, we only provide a dry contact, yes or no, there is an alert, because all the analysis is done inside in 1 second.
And that really is as simple as it needs to be, where you can do the analysis for audio detection on this unit, be then triggering the third-party system, whether that's an intruder alarm, a GMS, a paging system, typically a CCTV system, because there'll be a camera in that vicinity, wouldn't it? Very easy to do that third-party linkage. But then you can draw the attention of a guard or a third party or an off-site monitor station to that event, where they can act accordingly.
The thing is, we started for that reason, with the outdoor, that was nearly 10 years ago that we came on the market. The outdoor one, is a directional, so not only it will pick up the shockwave, but say the direction it comes from. And basically, because in the cities, we have hundreds, sometimes thousands of CCTV cameras, and they can provide beautiful images, and we love that, because we use them after, but the truth is, you have 10 screens, 20 screens, and only 2 or 4 pair of eyes to look at them. So it's the reason why they record it, and that's good, but usually the CCTV footage are used for the investigation, so 3 or 4 days after, or maybe a few hours, you can say who's done it at what time, but for real protection in real time, you need to be alerted in real time, and that only the audio detection, can alert the system in real time.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. So, with the new detector type, obviously you've got the outdoor lovely unit here. And one point that we learned, and this is a sort of lead on to a point I was going to make today actually, one of the points that we sort of discovered last time is the incorrect installation leading to some frustrations, etc. So we're going to make some video content, a series of small videos on correct installation, correct design, where to fit it, how to program, how to test, etc., fault find, where it becomes a real simple set of series where as an installer you simply watch this video content to enable you to optimize and get the best experience you can out of these detector ranges, because that's really important for us to give that absolute best experience and so that it works when it needs to work.
Yeah, once again, there's a lot of science into it, you know, but it's in the box. The rest is logic.
It's a very small box as well. Yeah.
The rest is logic, you know.
Definitely,
if you put a CCTV camera on, you won't put it like that,
No,
you know, because that doesn't make sense.
Correct.
And what we faced last time is we put it like that, you know.
So they can't hear anything.
That doesn't really work.
And again, we had a big learning curve ourselves, didn't we?
So we faced that, you know, many times, and it's the reason why we came, you know, with those recommendations, you know, and everything will be fine. And really, you know, it's the intelligence, this virtual, I forgot my word. Anyway, the smart point of it, you know, the artificial intelligence. I told you it's smarter than me. So the artificial intelligence, you know, as soon as you plug it in, it's starting adapting to the context, you know, and it's really a question of seconds, you know, before it's effective, you know, and it evolves continuously with it, and it adapts, you know. I mean, life is naturally noisy, you know, so it can be very noisy, very quiet. It doesn't impact the detection, you know. It's what we have developed, you know, and what we are, why we are one of the only one in the world, you know, to have this continuously adapting artificial intelligence, you know, which can pick up only the anomaly. Really, like you do in nature.
Really comforted to know that we can offer all of this audio detection capabilities in such a simple to install and use device now. So I'm really excited, especially with this new format box. And one of the most exciting points that we came to last, sort of when we started the video, was this brand new unit. I'd classify it as a sort of a 5-in-1 multi-detector.
It is all the detections, once again, you know, to make it as easy as we can, not only for the installer but as well for the end user. You know, you can make mistake, you know, sometimes, because we provide a lot of different detections, you know, going from shock waves, you know, which will be a window breakage, for example, but to what is a very strong point, verbal violence, you know, verbal aggressions, you know, which is a really impacting problem, you know, especially since the end of COVID. You know, we have impacts on these human resources. You know, a lot of people get sick because they're mentally harassed at work, you know, by customers or peers, you know, or whatever. So we can detect verbal violence, but all our detection, you know, will be embedded in the detector, and you just have to qualify the detector through a website that you can access by a Wi-Fi, you know. So it can be on the ceiling, and you can change the settings, but you can change as well the qualification of the detector, changing it from a gunshot detection to verbal violence, or going to a scream of panics, or going to shock detection. You know, it takes virtually like 20 seconds to do it.
Literally seconds, isn't it? And we'll demonstrate that on a video very shortly. As simple as it gets, a couple of holes, nice little cable entry in the back, you know, if you've got a screwdriver on the side, however you want to install that. It's a very small box, guys. You can see cable entry, 2 mounting holes. On the unit itself, very, very simple. There is a tamper switch with a tamper pair, power terminals, and the alarm relay. It's as simple as that. I will move it a little bit closer just to give you a close-up so you guys get to see all of the brains in the box. But good luck trying to steal that, guys, because it's very, very clever indeed. And there is a Wi-Fi chip on there. So the idea being, me as an installer installs this in the said location. There's probably going to be a camera there, something very easy to connect the output of this. Simply screw that to the wall, connect the power, the alarm pair, the tamper pair if that's what I require, stick it together, and we've already got one together here, so it's a very discreet box. And then with a laptop, within range, I can simply connect to it, like you said, Bruno.
Exactly.
Web browse into it, change the settings, qualify it, test it, make sure it's working as expected, so you're meeting your customer's expectation. And it's really as simple as that, isn't it?
It's simple. You
Really
don't have to
simple as
use
that.
the Wi-Fi to connect it to your network. You
Nope.
know, it's really a separated function.
It's
You
a
know,
one-to-one
so
connection.
super safe. And yes, we hardly can make it
Any
easier
simpler.
than that.
No. I really think that like the simplicity in the design and the implementation of this now is a key point to us being able to relaunch this with our customer base, and we couldn't make it any simpler. You know, the only sort of next step is you install it and testing it for them, you know, but you know, that's what you guys are for, and that's why you come and trust the UES. So again, it is a 5-in-1, and Bruno wrapped that up really well with the different types of, so you have got like and these are freely available, you can go on their website, check it out, the violence, and you've got the drilling, and you've got screams of panic, because you know, that's most people when they meet me, acoustic shocks and gunshots and explosions. You know, it is a very diversification of detection, multiple detection types. But
And once again, if I may, you know, because
please,
we're on a market, you know, for many years, you know, that we are one of the rare pioneers, you know, we may be in the world 3 or 4 companies, dealing with audio detection. All our detectors have been created from the verticalities, you know, from the end users, you know, and they came with problems that they really have, you know, in life, you know, and we made our detectors around it, you know.
All best technology comes from a need, doesn't there, rather than somebody just dreaming up an application. Where there's a real need and technology is developed to meet that expectation. That, in my opinion, as a technologist, that's where the sort of best
that's how it should be,
comes from. That's how it should be, correct. You know, and even in the UK, and like, you know, sadly, you know, in France has its own set of challenges, doesn't it, as most of us will be aware. You know, there is a gunshot and explosion, there is always a risk of that. Always.
I was here when there was the Manchester killing, you know, and things like that, you know, and really, and I don't want to play on that part, you know, but we know in less than 1 second, you know, that what happened in Paris for the Bataclan, for example, police had to wait hours before knowing, you know, before having the right footage, you know, before knowing how many people, what were the weapon and things like that, you know, and with our detections, you know, in less than 1 second, the whole system focus on the event which is occurring. So in real time, the alert is triggered and you have the right images, you know, tagged in the recording.
And that can greatly increase the outcome of any event in that instance, can't it?
Exactly, time is the issue in any security problem.
It is. But even things like you said, the verbal aggression and screams of panic. But another interesting one that a lot of our customers will be interested in is the cutting and drilling, that one there, where if you're in a high value asset or high value area, or you've got goods that you really want to protect, you know, a workshop with high value tools, and somebody has the potential to break into that to steal all of your thousands and thousands of pounds worth of tools, or cigarettes, or clothing, or perfume, or whatever.
Exactly, you know, our end users go from the bank vaults, you know, to the truck drivers, you know, because you know, as you said, you know, most of the freight is freight. Is a fright.
It is, I've seen some of the places lately. I can verify it is a frightening.
And the good thing with that kind of detection is you detect the people when they're still outside, because what we detect is the first attack on either the drill or the cutting disc, you know, on the structure. And because the sound is traveling faster in solids than in the air, big of technique there. We will detect them when they attack the structure, not when they're in. So
that's massively important to affecting the outcome of that event, isn't it? So
we have a very, very good reference, you know, that if you contact Dave, he can speak about it.
It's very, very good,
You know, but we allowed to arrest few gangs, you know, while they were still on the roof and not in, you know, so.
And like, again, there's a much higher chance of one apprehending them and stopping that from being a thing moving forward, but obviously less damage, less loss.
Time is issue in security, you know.
Time is money.
Yeah, well, the audio detection puts the security at the right step in the chain, you know. It's detection, you know. Vision, very good to control. You know, it's good to detect if you're looking at the things, but if something happens in your back, you can't see it. You can hear it. 24/7, even when you sleep. You know, your ears are working.
Always awake.
If I may, last point.
No, please, yeah,
last point. We can even be used where CCTV cameras are forbidden, because once again,
what a great point.
we don't take any personal data, you know, so we're UK GDPR compliant, and we're GDPR compliant all over Europe, but most of it's absolutely impossible to listen and to break any kind of privacy with our system, you know, and we had that in mind when we created it years ago, because it's what we want.
Yeah.
You know, we want protection.
Yeah,
we don't
absolutely.
want surveillance. You know, so that's the good thing. If you have sanitary blocks, you know, I mean, to protect your customers against aggression in those places, you know. We use our systems in hotels, you know,
that's interesting.
to detect any kinds of grey or black markets happening, you know, when the receptions are closed, you know, things like that. But we can do it because we don't take any personal data, you know, so we can be used anywhere.
What a great point to end on. Thank you, Bruno, for coming and
you,
spending
Dave.
some time with us. And obviously, we're as excited as we were at the beginning of the video. We're so excited. And again, with this brand new detector, we will do a very standalone video on this to show you how easy it is. If I can do it, anyone can do it. We're super excited. You've had a very detailed overview of what we can offer for you from the range. If you do want to know any further details, then please drop myself, Bruno, or your DVS sales rep a line. Please visit their website. They've got an absolutely fantastic website full of detail, case studies, application data, how this all goes together, so you can really get your mind thinking of where this may fit into your customer base. And I think a lot of this is because it's quite new to the UK and quite new to your thought process. You really have to open yourself up as to where this would fit into your customer base, and once you do that, I think the possibilities are endless.
That's the thing with innovation, you know, you've got to open your mind, you know. There is no problem, you know, that we can't speak about, you know. Either we can answer or we can't, you know. We will always give a straight answer, and we can always you know, come with DVS, you know, for demonstration. Absolutely. Or
we'll always be here to help you guys, so please.
I'm French, but I live in the UK.
Best of both worlds. A French UKer.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and from me and Bruno, until the next video, we'll see you very soon.